you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leonard joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. Well, lucky to talk to me, funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, the Boat, Brad Gilmore.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of The Collection with Brad Gilmore. I'm, of course, Brad Gilmore, as it says in the show's name. We have a great episode for you today. I'm talking to Fabiana Udenio, who you might know from Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. She played a lot of Fabiana and most recently worked with another on-screen legend, Arnold Schwarzenegger, in the Netflix series FUBAR. This is, I guess, the third interview I've done with a member of the cast of FUBAR, but I've really enjoyed talking to everyone from this cast. It's a really fun show. If you haven't watched it on Netflix, I say that you should go out of your way to do so. It's Arnold's first TV show, and everybody in it is great, and Fabiana is really great. So we talk about how she got the role, bonding with Arnold and creating that chemistry. What is it like to improv with people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and the aforementioned Mike Myers? And I've been getting really into process questions lately and understanding how different artists approach their art and how they create their art. And I know that that's probably like me getting older and I'm just fascinated by that stuff. But we talk about all that. So here's my chat with Fabiana Udenio here on The Collection.
And she's joining me right now. We've been talking about FUBAR for so many weeks, it feels like, on this show, because I've gotten to talk to so much of the cast. And Fabiana is joining us right now to talk about FUBAR on Netflix. Fabiana, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you. Happy to be celebrating with everybody. FUBAR.
It's a great, you know what? And I know, I'm going to be 100% honest. This show is so much fun because it's right up my alley. I love the action comedies. I always have. And this show, for Arnold's kind of debut into the world of television and Netflix, it was such the right show to do. And your role in it, T.He, is so good. I've enjoyed the whole cast. What has the feedback been like, though, for you so far?
It's been great all over the world. I mean, it's wonderful. And I get to play this character that is the recipient of Arnold's most vulnerable moments, that you rarely get to see him play that, be that, because he's this legendary action and the comedy. But the sentimental side, the fact that he's the love, the passion between the two, it's been a pleasure to explore, and the response has been great. So I'm really, really happy.
So tell me if I got this right. You received, this show came to you during the midst of the pandemic. You receive an email that's got some information regarding FUBAR or an untitled Arnold Schwarzenegger project, and you kind of go through the process, get the role, but you never met Arnold prior to shooting. Is that right?
That's correct. Exactly. We had a couple of Zoom rehearsals and, like read-throughs. Which was exciting, but you're on Zoom. So no, I never did. So part of the challenge was to be T.He, be completely at ease, feel familiar and almost nonchalant about her ex-husband coming in and out of her house unannounced, and come on, help me make a salad or help me make some bruschetta. So that feeling had to be there, and that was my challenge. I did not want to be intimidated or nervous or tentative around him. I had to be, in control of it. So I was sort of hiding behind my character for a while and relying on the words written by Nick Santora to give me that. But it didn't take long to then, become friends and break the ice and be comfortable, not just in character, but also out of character. Yeah.
I was able to talk to Milan Carter and Fortune and Travis Van Winkle
Wow.
about this show, and they all said that they had a similar thing. It's Arnold. You have a little bit of an intimidation factor just given who he is and his legacy in the industry in Hollywood and what he's done outside of entertainment, as governor and a weightlifting champion, all these great things. But they said, though, that he was, and I'm paraphrasing, was almost a great number one on the call sheet because he released all that tension for them. He was kind of a jokester, a bit of a prankster on set, would kind of break the ice for them. Did you have that same experience with him? Was he kind of light and fun with you?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, a lot to learn from someone that can combine discipline and hard work with fun. And it wasn't just fun for the actors; the whole crew was in on the fun, and they were excited to show up to work and putting their best effort forward because they knew they were gonna come something special. So, and I had a couple of icebreakers that were fun. Regardless of his fun, that made me feel okay. I don't need to be perfect because I kind of felt the pressure initially to be this perfect creature, a character that this person is so in love with and willing to sacrifice everything. And so I felt a little, oh my God, how am I going to live up to that? But I realized that I didn't. And there were some funny moments that happened between us. And I said, okay, from now on, I can just be completely comfortable.
When you are reading through this character, I don't know if you're somebody who looks to play a character that you find similarities with, because when you look at Tali and who she is as a character, there's definitely a spunk, a lot of fire behind her, but also this loving mother who's very family oriented. Did you try to find things that you could relate to, or do you like playing something that's maybe a little bit different?
I have played characters that are very far from who I am, and I love that. But with Tali, there was a lot that she had that I could take inspiration from my own life. I mean, there were a lot of similarities, and I really, really enjoyed that. I mean, the fact that she put family first, the fact that she's passionate. I'm a romantic. Now I've become, with age, a skeptical romantic, and I think that's who she is, and part of my desire was to show, okay, passion and love when there's true love, passion doesn't end at a certain predetermined age. And so those are things that I believe in. And it was nice to have a character that is that way, and a character that is the age that she is. And now she's going to go and think about herself after putting family first and her kids first. And so now it's her time. So I like doing both as an actor. Is great to step outside of yourself and your comfort zone and do things that you wouldn't necessarily be in real life. But it's also really great to find a character like this one that you can think about your own life, other things about their family, their Bruners that, that I believe they're true. You discover things in your family that you never knew. I mean, you think you know your family really well, but you actually never know. And that's something I think a lot of families can relate to. Your kids, you find things about your kids that you didn't know they were there, even though you've been around them forever. So I really loved all of those diversities. And I love the fact that she is grounded, but she's also impulsive and unpredictable, and I love that. And hopefully if there's another season, we can see more of the unpredictability that comes with being passionate.
Well, there's definitely more layers to that onion and what your character can bring. When it comes to actors and actresses, I'm always fascinated by the process, and everybody has a different process that they follow. I saw an interview recently with Sean Connery when he was shooting what was the third Indiana Jones movie, and Steven Spielberg said that he brought the script to set and had these pages of notes on the character that Sean had scribbled in there, that he had gone through and did all this work on the character himself. And then I've heard others like Harrison who showed up on set and tried to find the character when they were there. What is your process like? Do you take a lot of notes in the script, or do you wait through rehearsals and shooting to try to find where that character is going to be?
I do like to think about the character a lot, and I've become better with age to try to step away a little bit and live life because I was so focused when I was younger. I would think about it 24/7. And I don't take notes. I'm more of a mental imaginary type. So I'm like, go to sleep and think about it, or think about it in the morning and take a shower and say my lines or move and do them. So no notes, no highlighting, like people that highlight their lines. No, I'm all of a different kind of learning process, but I do like to rehearse. And then I think it's good to let it all go when you go to the set. And part of the magic of being an actor is finding the other actors, listening. And if you get that chemistry, that's when the magic happens. And I think part of what happened with me, I think I felt with Arnold, was that there was that chemistry, that fun, and that can only happen when you're on the set. And he likes to improvise, so, which I didn't know. And so that was great because, you expect, I'm Italian, but I have this vision of Germany or Austria or Germanic descent, like very structured and predictable and rehearsed. And so so I didn't expect that. And so every time it was great, even from the Zoom, he started, and I was really paying attention because I didn't. And so that created for me to be on my toes and listening. And when you listen as an actor, that's when the stuff happens, within yourself, and the magic of the chemistry between two actors are.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to ask you about that, and you kind of led me right into it, the improvising, because I did hear from the other cast that Arnold does like to throw a wild line at you or take it in a direction that maybe you weren't expecting. For someone who does come in rehearsing, you have these lines, and like you said, you want to be present in the scene, you want to listen to the actors. Did you have, I guess, was that a challenge for you to roll with these improvs, or did you find yourself thriving in that kind of environment?
I like him. I guess from, Mike Myers was the master at improvisation. So you really had to learn a lot and to keep a straight face and, just to roll with the punches, so to speak. I didn't expect it with Arnold, but I noticed it right away, little things here and there. And so that was great. But there was one specific time when he just went off in just like really like an acting class, like you're doing acting, improvise. And then I kept in that moment, didn't go for it right away because I wasn't expecting. So I kept sort of getting it back to the script, but he kept going. I said, okay, let's go for it. And then we just did this whole thing. And I said, how fun, like he's doing it. I can do it too. He's giving me the green light to just come on, explore. And we did. And it's not going to end up in the final cut, of course, because we went off. But it was great because it gives you different levels, colors as a character that are going to stay there when you then go back to the scripted lines.
Yeah, it helps you find it. It helps you find it more, and you get to explore and have fun, and it builds the chemistry between the two performers, right?
Yes, and the comfort level, the chemistry, absolutely. Yes.
Oh man, yes. I always love when people start improvising. I just like hearing those stories because you're right. You know that most likely this isn't going to make the final cut, but it is those moments that make it so important. Those are the important moments on set to, like you said, develop those characters and chemistry. I wanted to ask you this. You brought up Mike Myers in the action comedy realm. How much of what you did in Austin Powers were you able to take forward with you? Because I feel like with every project that we have, whether it be Austin Powers or Summer School or whatever you've done over your career, you have one particular thing that you might take from it and then apply it to every other project that you're on. Was there something specific, some sort of skill specifically that you honed in on during the making of the Austin Powers film that you were able to bring to a similar action comedy like FUBAR?
Well, one of them was being able to keep up and improvise and which I know how to do before, and also the power of imagination. When you read Austin Powers, because I was in the first one, yes, I knew what they were doing, and I was researching 007 and all that, but when you finally saw him in the power that the details and the imagination, the attention to wardrobe and costume, everything. So you learn how to, from the page to the stage, how much it can change and how much you can bring to it with teamwork. Yes, sometimes I think as an actor you work from the inside out, but sometimes you go from the outside in. I mean, the teeth, the hair, all those details that he had, the exterior then helped create the character from within. So that was something that was fascinating to see come to life.
That's interesting. I've never heard anyone say that before. So you're saying like when, and maybe it's the same for you, when you put the full the wardrobe on, you almost inhabit that character more. Is that what happened for you?
It's sometimes you can go from inside out or you can go from outside in. You know, I mean, if you, yes, absolutely. When the makeup, the hair, whatever you're wearing, it's so important to feel, for the final product as an actor, for the final outcome. I mean, for me, it's very important. And I don't believe in one gospel way, specific structured way of achieving something, because to me, it happens in many different ways. And sometimes in unpredictable ways, you know, like there were scenes, emotional scenes when I said, okay, I'm going to save it for my club. But then the emotion comes and stays with you. And I go, okay, I hope I can keep that emotion. So you never know, I mean, how things are going to happen, you know, what you're going to touch within you that is going to work or not. So stay there with you.
Wow, that's fascinating. I've never heard anyone explain it that way. I'm going to always remember that answer forever.
Oh, thank you.
That's incredible. Now, you mentioned if there's a season 2 that comes, you would like to do more. Where's a place that you would like to take T.He if you go into that second season?
Well, I think T.He should be pretty pissed.
To put it lightly. Yeah.
Jeez, I mean, not only her husband, but the daughter. I mean, she's going to let them have it somehow. You know, in maybe a combination with German and Italian and Spanish. I don't know what language he's going to pick to let them have it, but it's going to be like maybe all of them put together. And then, of course, you know, I mean, I'd like to handle some guns. I mean, I've gone to a shooting range just to get ready, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe next time I'll take some pictures and text them email them to Nick Santora, the showrunner. So you're like,
I can do it too. I can do it too.
Yeah, I can do it. But really, I mean, it's been so great to read his scripts from the get-go that I'm ready for anything, you know. Yes.
Well, I mean, it's been just a great time to talk to you. And if people want to reach out or stay in touch and updated with things that you have going on, how can people kind of find you and follow you?
Thank you. I'm learning the Instagram thing, and then it's my name, so it's at Fabiana Udenio. And the same for Facebook. So I'm really like a novice, but I'm trying hard. So the stories, the tagging, the mentioning the thing, I'm like trying, joining the 21st century. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, Fabiana, it's just been a pleasure. The show is FUBAR. It's streaming on Netflix right now. We want a season 2 so we can see T.He shoot some guns and curse people out in Italian, German, Spanish, and everything in between. Fabiana, I really appreciate you taking the time.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hurry up, tape running out.